hours have I played? Like, just games in general. Just take this, that, and generally I have pretty concrete answers, but then every now and then I get questions like, oh, wait, I don't know, and I don't stop to think about it. But I was like, you know what? Let's boil this down to just as far as I can conceivably think of, how many hours I've probably put into a game minimum. So that's what this is, right? What does it take to get good, right? But like to master something, apparently it's 10,000 hour, but we're not gonna get into that. Did I reach 2,000 hours? That's an even better question. So let's start. When did I start playing games, right? Outside, got a good sun exposure, which is very important. I didn't really put in that many hours. Like, one of my first games I can remember was like a tank game, Mario, obviously the NES, and then Turok for N64. Those are the three games I recall very vividly. And then a couple of arcade times, slightly got to experience the arcade, right? But very little, very little. I had nowhere near the arcade experience that most people grew up with, from these FGC boomers. Like, where I want to start it is right when it was a bit past owning a PS2 and when I actually had more games. Right around middle school, for sure. It was past, right when I'd say 12, 14 is when I started getting more serious about gaming, and what got me more serious. And I would say the two games would have to be Guitar Hero and Resident Evil to start that, but no, we have to go a wee bit before that. When I was still playing games casually, I put in a lot of hours at Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and insert whatever game, and then whatever I could get my hands on. Naruto was one game I put a lot of hours into, the Ultimate Ninja games. Yeah, that was one. And of course, when you have a brother, usually you guys play together and every now and then, but I already find myself more than not being the one who would play it a lot when you could get the chance. But even then, still, there were kids, so we played it a lot. But as we grew older, my brother and sister, they didn't play it as much, and I actually ended up playing it way more. My freshman year, I really didn't play games that much, actually. Like, I played a lot, like, but once I got into, like, soccer and wrestling, yeah, that shit was kind of just, hell no, I almost didn't play. Fun fact, I didn't play games a lot for one whole year, and that was spent, like, I had my moments where I played Call of Duty and everything, but just to be safe, we'll take a year off. So 12 years. Well, it's okay, alright, cool, I've been playing hardcore for 12 years. Taking two, not consistency from 10 to 12 and making up other stuff. And I also want to make up, like, for holidays, right? But let's look at a consistent schedule of how it would look like, right? So now we know it's 12 years. And let's look at how the days are, right? It's Monday through Friday, right? Monday through Friday. A kid, you go to school, I wake up, mad as fuck. I play from like 4 to 6-ish, maybe 8. I would play games almost every day. And every now and then I hang out with my friends, but most of the time we would just go play games anyways, right? The most time wasted is like me going to their house or vice versa or setting shit up. But it was later until like getting into high school, they stopped playing as much and they tried being a bunch of weird hipsters and hanging out. And I was like, dude, that shit's GAY as fuck. So that's funny. So we could knock out. But what about the times you like? Again, we'll ignore those bonus times. It was very now and then. Once a week, I would go hard and play outside, whatever. And then they were, like I said, once later, they started trying to think they're cool. Like, man, I don't need to play game. Let me just chill. I'm like, who the fuck wants to do that? Like, look, man, I don't mind chilling, but I'm like, dude, I'll play some shit. Fuck I look like, I don't know, those motherfuckers trying too hard to act grown. But I wasn't with that shit. I just went, dude, I'm just gonna go home and back play some shit, right? But, so let's say from 4 to 6, so I got back, let's say 2, 3 o'clock. Let's ignore my mom, food, whatever. 4 to 6, and maybe outside I'd go and play. So let's knock out a day, right? So we'll knock out Fridays. So for 4 to 16, we'll just assume Saturday and Sunday, again, because this is minimum. Let's assume Saturday, Sundays, I did all the stuff besides play games. And I put maybe some Saturday, Sundays, maybe 4 hours. Yeah, I think that sounds right, because I think I got bored pretty quick. Let's go 4, because I'm lazy. Remember, this is the bare minimum. So we got 96, and then how many months are in the year? 12, right? Times 12. Boom. So we already got 1,152, and we're only going to count for those 2 years, because we already said 12, right? Did I say 15? For 2 years, we did this. We are at 2,304. So let's just round it down, because again, it's a squishy dick around, because I didn't take it that serious yet. So we'll say 2,000, right? 2,000, and we got 10 years. Now, for those 10 years, once I was like 14, because remember, we were counting it from 12 to 14. So, and then 14, nah, bro, that's when I started taking that shit serious. And I at that point, that's when I actually got really good at Guitar Hero and Resident Evil 4. Because 12, 14, then, yeah, by 14, I definitely remember having a PS3, and I played quite a bit of Black Ops. And like I said, we already minus that 1 year. But let's assume how this schedule was. Now, this schedule was a lot more tight, right? Like, excluding that 1 year, for the most part, I did watch TV, but it was only near the end. So, I get back, I remember around like 4 o'clock-ish, right? And that's not including some extracurricular activities. I only did like a couple. I mean, I stayed at school a lot, right? So, you know what? Let's make this the high school one. So, I would come back at, see, 4, 5, or 6, right? Let's assume it's a consistent 5 just to round it out. So, at 5 o'clock, I get back. And then from 5 to around 10 o'clock, I would play. So that's like 5 hours. Because I'd wait for Adult Swim. Adult Swim doesn't start till like 10 or 9 ish, right? And sometimes they'd have whack shit, so till 12. Ooh. 9 o'clock. Let's say 9 o'clock. Because it is the minimum I think I played. I mean, sometimes I would sleep early. Sometimes I'd actually sleep at 10, right? And then it was at a point Adult Swim just didn't have good shit anymore, and I didn't care. Like, what the fuck? And the shit I like, I'm just like, fuck it, man. I'm like, only like maybe certain days I'd watch something, right? So, from 5 to 9, that's like what? 4 hours. 4 hours. So, 4 hours Monday through Friday. And consistent. I didn't go out as much. I thought that shit was kind of GAY, because especially they were definitely on that hipster bullshit again. Too hard this time. 4 times 5. Because I still had my PS3. The PS3 wasn't over until it was like at my dad's crib, and it only later until like he just didn't use it as much, and I was just like, yo, I'm gonna take this over, and then I just basically made it a habit to bring the PS3 with me no matter what, But for a good while, it was basically at his place, and me bringing with me didn't change a fucking thing. I just way more consistent at playing it all the fucking time, right? Damn, high school didn't give me a lot of time to play shit. Like, I'm trying to remember. I think. I mean, the thing is, maybe this in itself isn't even that accurate. Maybe the high school years, it's like, because like I said, oh, we already counted freshman year. Freshman year, not really. It was past freshman year, and bro, the PS3 was with me all the time. So actually, this is good, yeah. So, but on Saturdays and Sundays, I played the fuck out of the PS. Damn, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have subtracted it. No, it doesn't matter. Again, minimum. So let's compensate that this is for those days. So I played 5 hours at least, more or less, 4 to 5 hours daily, and then Saturday, Sundays, all day, bro. No, we're not gonna undercap this shit, dude. Plus fucking 24, cause 12, right? Like night, day, bro. Play me with that shit. I will go out, and yeah, this every now and then go out, whatever. But I mean, for the most part, people be up for 12 or 14 hours sometimes, right? And I mean, we already lowballed the other one. And this is all the stuff compensates for the lowballing. So let's say, okay, 44 hours, and what? Like, okay, 4 and times 12. Like I said, we're lowballing, so it's no big deal. Oh, that's already. Wait, really? It's around the same time. Interesting. For how many years? Oh, wait, no, this is just 1 year. No, I did spend double the time. All right, good. This is just 1 year. This isn't even 2 years. For how long did I keep this up? I kept this up until I got out of high school, actually. Then I started working. That changed my schedule up a bit, but I worked 8-hour days, so it wasn't that different from school. So actually, now that I think about it, this didn't change at all. If anything, hours. Holy fucking Christ. Now, let's go into when you have nothing better to do for a whole year, and another year you switch jobs a lot. 20,000. Now, let's look at my current schedule today and assume I've been on it for 2 years at least. I literally play every single fucking day. I very rarely do anything else. Let's assume every once a week I do important shit. So we'll ignore one day, right? And then every day I take out 2 hours from what I already do, which is work. I go to work, come back, call it a day. So that means every day I at least play a bare minimum of 6 to 8 hours. So we're going to take a whole day off because it's very rare that I take days off anyways. So I'm going to go 10, 6, 60 obviously, times 4, times 12.2000. Oh, that's not that much more. How odd. How very odd. Times 2 years. That is, we'll round up, 6,000, right? Was it 20,000 or 2,000? Let me see. I have to keep looking back. Yeah, no, it was 20,000. Holy fuck. 6,000 hours. So how short am I? I'm short by a couple hours then, I guess. I didn't play enough to master gaming. Oh no, it said 10,000 hours. Oh, I doubled it. Wait, hold up. By the definitions of the 10,000 hour mark, I mastered this at pretty much around high school then, for sure. I think that means I mastered gaming around the age of high school. And I guess it makes sense when I got into fighting games too, around NBC. Minimum, remember, we're lowballing here. We're literally lowballing because we're not counting days when I took vacations. I would go hard. And then, of course, like, for every time we could say, oh, but what about times you went out? I'm like, yeah, but as I mentioned before, like, we're ignoring the childhood one because that happened a lot more frequently. Right as I got older and got way more into it, I said, what the fuck am I gonna spend money on some carnival time? This I'm like, dude, I should just be at home and play a game all day, every day. Be even more happy. I don't even spend a fucking dollar. And I still have that philosophy to this day. This is why I don't go to concerts and shit like that. Like, the fuck am I gonna waste money for? Eat me with that shit, boy. So yeah, there you go. The answer's 26 fucking thousand hours minimum. I say maximum 30,000 if I'm being honest, because I know for sure I spent at least a couple other $100 and stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna assume 6,000 of those are for Resident Evil, no cap, and another 6,000 for fighting games. Easy. The other ones, well, from every other genre. Yeah. All right. So there you go. That's a fun little video. It's gonna be fun editing all this.